do you do?
Mike Pillsbury, you have opened up a can of worms.
I never thought that thing would work.
Welcome to the Shitty Channel.
Catchphrase.
Welcome back to the Shitty Channel. Today in the Shitty Shop, we are going to change the radiator in a Ford F-150. Let's see how this goes. It's a wet mess. Rained in the shop. You know, tornadoes and things. We're gonna let all the water out of this thing as step one. Now that we got the water, stop leak, coolant, antifreeze combo slushy mix draining down there, we're gonna start pulling some stuff off the top end. We're going to disconnect our hoses here, the overfill, this little vacuum. We got to get our transmission cooler lines undone as well. So that's going to be a fun one. Little tip, soak them when they're a little rusty looking in some PB blaster, some kind of penetrant for y'all will have use. If you have to, use some heat, stuff like that. I might have a little something that'll make that pretty easy. Just take your time on them. You don't want to break them, just like brake lines or anything else. If you break them, you gotta fix them. And nobody likes fixing those. I need a flatter head. Flathead. Now still have the bucket down there. A couple buckets because the design is optimal for drainage. So it goes down and catches this little thing and it just goes everywhere. You know, to ensure even distribution of the fluids coming out. Factory. All factory here. Top hose though, shouldn't be a lot that comes out, if any at all. And I'm kind of curious, fellers and fellettes, can I leave the fan on? Just take the shroud here off, swap the radiator without having to take all this off? Bleep bloop it down below, because that's what we're going to try to do. Because I don't see why not. So it looks like this little tab's broken. See, I'm being easy. In and out a little bit, you know. If you back it out a little bit, then tighten it back, it kind of cleans out those dirty threads a little bit. Looby-doob on there, you know. Show you what I was talking about on the other one. These clips, pretty little things. They're essentially the same little clips I got on my bumpers on my Civic sedan. But on this one, you know, it's clipped on there like that, so the bolt can go through and hold it to the radiator, the shroud. Well, this back half cracked and snapped off right there. So, like Dory from the Fish movie, it just keeps spinning, just keeps spinning. Now, like I said, we go slow, we go fast. Ultimately, we got to figure out how to grab its collar. Yeah, I know what y'all were thinking I was going to say. So, I've bent that tab up. Vice grip on the tab on the opposite side of that little broken piece. You just gotta go slow now, like super slow. And I bet she'll come out there. Save the bolt. So there's those. I had a light. Bam. So there's just little slots on the bottom that just slides down into. So we just want to pull that out of that. But see, looking down in there, through there, we've just got our two trans cooler lines and our lower rad hose. You see that design I was talking about? There's that lift down there that's caught all that coolant, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, moving that around and jiggling, wiggling, it just keeps falling more, which that's fine. Same kind of hose clamp, just a big old flathead. But I don't have a long flathead, so I might just get a socket and a bunch of extensions for that one. Then the fun part is getting these bad boys off, which, like I said, soak them. Clean them, soak them, clean them, soak them. A little heat if you got it. If you couldn't see it very well earlier, this is the drain plug. Driver's side, lower part there. Okay. I hope you guys can see that. I got this sprinkle bar and I've got this extension and I've got a crow's foot, I think is what we call them, 1/2 inch. And we're just gonna slow and steady work this left and right. Now I've had them soaking. You can see I got it broke loose, but it didn't break from the line. You don't want to break the line. Slow back and forth. All right, upper hose off, lower hose off, bottom trans line off, top off. Low and slow, little heat, low and slow. You'll twist the line if you're not careful. You can tell these twisted just a little bit, but I got them to break free. See what happens is this is supposed to spin, right? Well, they like to seize to the line here.
So when you go, it'll break free from here, and you'll be like, oh, great. And it'll just also be twisting here. And before you realize it, the whole line starts twisting. And then it goes, let's go, and snaps. So just heat, penetration, slow, back and forth. Take your time. That bottom one took a little longer. Once you get all this out of the way, it's worth cleaning up your threads and making sure it's all good, so you don't snap them putting them back in the new one. So now we're going to remove this one and this one.
I wonder what Derek Beard's doing today. Probably busy. Ha! Hi, Storm. That's a cat. Mm-hmm. Yep. Ooh. Just gonna pretend like we didn't see that. Now, if I am correct, this has stop leak put in it. So, what we're gonna do, since we're putting a brand new radiator in this thing, is we're gonna pop her open and try to flush out as much as we can before we install the new radiator and new coolant. Since we are going to be flushing the system, we're going to pull the thermohat, the 2 1/2-inch bolts. We're going to end up replacing the thermostat, gasket, and everything, because we got to clean it. We're going to clean this up. All right, we're going to get it clean because it's dirty. Once you remove those 2 bolts, it just plops right off. But I'm glad we did this for the guy. The housing gasket, gone. The thermostat gasket, gone. And since I had it out, I figured I'd test it. Took the torch to it, heated it up, and she would not open. That's the tank we pulled out. Let's see if you guys can see the crack. Yeah. Look at that. There was stop leak in there, and part of me is wondering if there's maybe some trans fluid that got into it. Like the cooler line. Or not the line, but the plastics and stuff. I don't know. Don't look there. But now we're just going to clean everything up. Get it ready for the new stuff. Which he's going to bring those with him when he comes pick up the old gal. So we're going to clean up and get the new one installed. So let me go grab a bucket, water hose, and we'll run water through here and hopefully flush everything out down there. You want to flush it till your water turns clear. Not even air. So before we put in our new radiator, we want to fit it with all our hardware that we're going to need.
So before we make anything permanent in it, just trying to see where these clips end up here. I think we have a case of this isn't the right one either. But it's, I mean, it's so close. That hole lines up. That hole does not. Okay, so since the shroud is not actually lining up to the mounting points to the new radiator, that leaves us in just a small pickle. I am noticing some subtle differences. That factory one looks like a dual core maybe, and this is a single core, so this one's a little bit thinner. So that might be the difference here. Ultimately, the choice here is up to the customer. If it was me, y'all know exactly what we would do. We'd just stab her in and go. But it's always good to check with your peoples first. But I think I can make this work, so I'll be back shortly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I ran out of recording space on my phone. Didn't realize it, but well, it's in. We just need to hook all our stuff back up, and remember, we're going to be waiting on a new thermostat, housing gasket, and all that. But I ended up just drilling a hole in the shroud. Used the new clip, a new bolt that I had on both sides. The bottom is in the clips, so it's in. We just got to hook her back up. Alrighty, guys, we got her all hooked up. That lower trans-cooler line kind of sucked. Slow! And we got it. But, yeah, so we're just going to wait now till we get the new thermostat and stuff before we button this up and put some coolant in her and, well, let her run. Because then you got to burp the system to make sure there's no air in there. And being as how we flushed the block and stuff out, she's definitely going to have some air in it, because we use the water hose to push everything out. Then I use the air in behind it to break stuff loose and help push stuff out. But burping the system is as easy as burping a baby. As a matter of fact, it's actually a little bit easier, because you hook this fancy stuff up and let her run until she gets hot. But I reckon I'll be back with y'all tomorrow when we button this up.